Welcome back, movie enthusiasts. Today we're diving deep into top 100 movies you must watch before die. 1. Schindler's List, directed by Steven Spielberg. 2. Prisoners, directed by Denis Villeneuve. 3. The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, directed by Sergio Leone. 4. 12 Angry Men, directed by Sidney Lumet. 5. Cinema Paradiso, directed by Giuseppe Tornatore. 6. Seven Samurai, directed by Akira Kurosawa. 7. Sesevenin, directed by David Fincher. 8. The Dark Knight, directed by Christopher Nolan. 9. Interstellar, directed by Christopher Nolan. 10. Bicycle Thieves, Ladri di Biciclette, directed by Vittorio De Sica. 11. It's a Wonderful Life, directed by Frank Capra. 12. The Shawshank Redemption, directed by Frank Darabont. 13. The Godfather, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. 14. Back to the Future, directed by Robert Zemeckis. 15. 1917, directed by Sam Mendes. 16. Her, directed by Spike Jonze. 17. Birdman, directed by Alejandro G. Iñárritu. Ciotin, The Pianist, directed by Roman Polanski. Shanaim, The Truman Show, directed by Peter Weir. 20. Silence of the Lambs, directed by Jonathan Demme. 21. Psycho, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. 22. Life is Beautiful, La Vita è Bella, directed by Roberto Benigni. 23. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, directed by Michel Gondry. 24. Lord of the Rings, Trilogy, directed by Peter Jackson. 25. Zodiac, directed by David Fincher. 26. Inception, directed by Christopher Nolan. 27. High and Low, Tengoku to Jigoku, directed by Akira Kurosawa. 28. The Hunt, Jagton, directed by Thomas Vinterberg. 29. Birds of Prey, 2020, directed by Cathy Yan. 30. Good Will Hunting, directed by Gus Van Sant. 31. A Clockwork Orange, directed by Stanley Kubrick. 32. Get Out, directed by Jordan Peele. 33. Taxi Driver, directed by Martin Scorsese. 34. Come and See, Idi Ismotri, directed by Elem Klimov. 35. The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick. 36. Old Boy, directed by Park Chan-wook. 37. The Godfather Part 2, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. 38. Fight Club, directed by David Fincher. 39. Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg. 40. Rear Window, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. 41. Saving Private Ryan, directed by Steven Spielberg. 42. Memories of Murder, Salinui Chuok, directed by Bong Joon-ho. 43. Hacksaw Ridge, directed by Mel Gibson. 44. The Secret in Their Eyes, El Secreto de sus Ojos, directed by Juan José Campanella. 45. A Wednesday, directed by Nerai Pandey. 46. Memento, directed by Christopher Nolan. 47. Pulp Fiction, directed by Quentin Tarantino. 48. 2001, A Space Odyssey, directed by Stanley Kubrick. 49. The Great Escape, directed by John Sturges. 50. Rashomon, directed by Akira Kurosawa. 51. The Thing, 1982, directed by John Carpenter. 52. Fargo, directed by Joel Cohen, Ethan Cohen. 53. The Grand Budapest Hotel, directed by Wes Anderson. 54. Blade Runner 2049, directed by Denis Villeneuve. 55. Coco 2017, directed by Lee Unkrich, Adrian Molina. 56. Paths of Glory, directed by Stanley Kubrick. 57. The Princess Bride, directed by Rob Reiner. 58. The Lion King 1994, directed by Roger Allers, Rob Minkoff. 59. The Incredibles 2004, directed by Brad Bird. 60. Dead Poet Society, directed by Peter Weir. 61. A Separation, Yoda Eye Nada Az Simin, directed by Asghar Farhadi. 62. The Salesman, Forushande, directed by Asghar Farhadi. 63. Son of Saul, Saul Villa, directed by Laszlo Nemes. 64. Stalker, directed by Andrei Tarkovsky. 65. Vertigo, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. 66. The Matrix, 1999, directed by Lana Wachowski, Lily Wachowski. 67. The Silence of the Lambs, directed by Jonathan Demme. 68. Inglourious Bastards, directed by Quentin Tarantino. 69. Forrest Gump, directed by Robert Zemeckis. 70. Whiplash, directed by Damien Chazelle. 71. The Prestige, directed by Christopher Nolan. 72. The Green Mile, directed by Frank Darabont. 73. Casablanca, directed by Michael Curtiz. 74. The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick. 75. The Dark Knight Rises, directed by Christopher Nolan. 76. The Departed, directed by Martin Scorsese. 17. American History, directed by Tony Kaye. 78. The Lives of Others, Das Leben der Anderen, directed by Florian Henkel von Donnersmarck. 79. There Will Be Blood, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. 80. Perfect Blue, 1997, directed by Satoshi Kon. 81. Das Boot, 1981, directed by Wolfgang Petersen. 82. Reservoir Dogs, directed by Quentin Tarantino. 83. The Big Lebowski, directed by Joel Cohen, Ethan Cohen. 84. La La Land, 2016, directed by Damien Chazelle. 85. Once Upon a Time in America, directed by Sergio Leone. 86. The Seventh Seal, Det 7:e inseglet, directed by Ingmar Bergman. 87. The Usual Suspects, directed by Bryan Singer. 88. In the Mood for Love, 2000, directed by Kar-Wai Wong. 89. The Terminator, 1984, directed by James Cameron. 90. Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg. 91. Groundhog Day, 1993, directed by Harold Ramis. 92. The Princess Bride, 1987, directed by Rob Reiner. 93. Blade Runner 1982, directed by Ridley Scott. 94. The Prestige, 2006, directed by Christopher Nolan. 95. The Elephant Man, 1980, directed by David Lynch. 96. The Thing, 1982, directed by John Carpenter. 97. The Grand Budapest Hotel, 2014, directed by Wes Anderson. 98. The Lion King, 1994, directed by Roger Allers, Rob Minkoff. 99. The Incredibles, 2004, directed by Brad Bird. 100. Before Sunrise, 1995, directed by Richard Linklater. Everyone Must Watch Once in Their Lifetime. Which one would you add to the list?